Trickdraw. It's a magical Western tableau building game by Good Games Publishing. And in this game you are Magic Flippin Cowboys. It says so on the box. In a game of Trickdraw where you are playing as those Magic Flippin Cowboys, the aim of the game really is to collect as much gold as possible and also call upon your allies to become a local hero, or indeed a villain, in a town that is quite aptly named Trickdraw Junction. During a game of Trickdraw, players will take turns drawing a card from the central deck and playing a card from their hand to their tableau, either face up, or it could even be played face down. They then get the chance to activate any other cards they have in their tableau that has usable effects. If, however, a player chooses not to play a card or activate a single card, then they can merely take a second card and then pass play onto the next player. This is a very simple concept and game mechanism indeed, but the trick in this game is not when you actually play a card, but how you reuse the card further down the line, or even use one of the many effects that allow you to flip cards face up or face down, giving endgame points of face down, or even bringing card effects back into play when flipping them face up. For example, I've just flipped Prophecy, which has an on-reveal cost. I can discard a card, which I will do at this point, and I can look at the top 3 cards of the deck. I get to put one of them back and I get to draw 2 of those cards. That's an awesome effect that will have only happened once, but by flipping the card and then flipping it back, I've managed to reactivate this card 2 times for the price of 1. The benefit to these flipping cards that we will find throughout the game as well is that it doesn't only limit you to your own tableau. You will also be able to flip cards in your opponent's tableaus, but obviously there is a bit of a risk with doing that, because if this was, for example, my opponent's tableau and I was to flip this card, I've just given my opponent 1 point towards their endgame victory condition. And by the same token, if I lose track of what their cards are and I decide to flip this one to take away that point, I've just given them that added bonus of being able to reactivate that card. Why would anyone want to do that? The game end is actually triggered when one player achieves their 10th point. So right now, for example, I currently have 9 points on my board shown, and that's through these points here and also this rally card, which has an ongoing effect, which means it's worth 1 point for each face-up rally card we have. And I take my turn, I draw a card, but secretly I know that I have another rally card in my hand, so that's going to be the card I play this turn. I'm going to play my rally card just here in front of me. Now this rally card is actually worth 2 because there's 2 on the board. That makes this one worth 2, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. I have officially triggered the end of the game. I cannot do anything else on my turn, but as a extra bonus to that, I get to draw 2 face down cards, adding 2 points to my final score. Everyone else around the table now gets 1 turn in order to try and minimize my points or maximize their own in order to beat me at the end of the game. But hold up, like all good westerns, there has to be a shootout, right? And in this game, the shootout is presented in the form of this instant win cards. There are 3 cards within the game: the key, the temple, and the treasure. If at any point in the game a single player has 2 of these 3 cards face up in their tableau, they are declared the winner instantly. That's how a shootout works, right? The components in this game are pretty basic. I mean, obviously it is a card game, so you're talking about card stock here. They are pretty good as it goes for card stock here. I don't feel like I particularly need to sleeve this game in order to protect it over time. It comes with a nice box insert here which holds the cards perfectly. As you can see, if you're not going to sleeve your cards, they all fit nicely on one side. If you do sleeve your cards, they do indeed fit nicely over the 2 parts. The artwork itself is actually quite cool, I must admit. I really do quite like the artwork on this game. You know, the rally cards have got kind of like a nice darkness to it. The prophecy cards have got that sort of more magical feel to them. Yet all of these cards, you look at them all, they all have that Western element to them. But then adding in that magic into the background as well just brings this artwork to life, and I really do like what I see here. Ultimately, it's a card game, right? We have a deck of cards. Every card has got the same backing on it, which is of course the name of the game, a little bit of westernized artwork with 1 point written on it. Literally all the cards are exactly the same. The artwork, however, on the front of these cards is actually rather sublime. It does really give you that sort of magical feel while still having the westernized style of art on it. And I will say, these special cards are even better because you do get, with these lightning effects around the cards, it does make you feel like you've got a bit of a UV presence to them, despite them not actually being UV highlighted. But I will say, through, you know, for the component quality, the cards are pretty good. They don't feel like they're going to bend and be easily scuffed and things like that. It's not a game that I feel I would have to sleeve per se, because there isn't a superb amount of shuffling within the game. But obviously you will want to shuffle these decks once you've finished the game. But as a whole, the component quality is pretty good. So I guess the big question is, who is this game for? It's not a particularly heavyweight game, right? This game plays for between 2 and 5 players. It says on the box that it's for 14 and up. I think you could get a little bit lower than that, if I'm completely honest. It's not a particularly hard game to grasp with the whole draw a card, play a card, read off what you can do, move on. It's really not a difficult concept. So the game is incredibly lightweight, and I do feel that maybe this is not quite good enough for those people that are just getting into the hobby. However, I do feel that this is like the next step up. This is a small box game, and the cost is always a question. Now, this game, I did have a little bit of a look online, and at the time of recording it is selling for about £15 to £20, which seems fairly steep for something that is ultimately a very small deck of cards by comparison. However, the gameplay, I would say, really adds to that value, and it does indeed have a fair amount of replay value here. But really, is it worth your money? Is it, you know, in the same vein of the other games that are in that same sort of price bracket and the same complexity? I personally really enjoy this game. I'm really glad that I have got to play it. Would I be upset if this wasn't in my collection? I don't think I am, but I would kind of miss it now. I feel like if anyone ever wants to play this game, I'm going to say yes, I actually really do want to play this game. It is great fun. I've had it asked for a few times now at my local game club, and I'm always more than happy to take this along. And that is Trickdraw by Good Games Publishing. Give it a try for yourself. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments below. But until next time, I have been Jason. You have been watching the Meeple Minded. This has been Trickdraw. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.